everyone, TGIF. Welcome to Comics from the Future, our show that we do every single Friday where we preview and you can pre-order all the latest and greatest upcoming comics and issues. We're going to show you a ton of cool variant covers, second printings, everything you want to check out. So, before I go too far, my name is Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're all with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to put some info up at the end of the show. If you need to order any of these books through us, just feel free to reach out. And let's just get right into it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lighter week, I would say, but still some cool, interesting. On these lighter weeks, it lets you sort of venture into books you might normally not pick up. And so that's what's cool about it.
To start off with, we have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, #1. So actually, I got a chance to read this briefly. I skimmed through it pretty fast, but just to get the overall idea. And this is interesting. This is going to be an 8-part series by Tom King and art by BILQUIS Evely, who had been doing some of the more recent Sandman books, doing the art on those. So it's a very cool style. You can see on the cover. And Tom King said this is basically All-Star Superman for Supergirl, which I'm still wondering what aspect of All-Star Superman, other than, All-Star Superman was a very character-defining, very exploring who Superman is and his morals and everything. From the first issue, this is interesting. So Supergirl is, it doesn't even start with Supergirl. We're out in space on this very, almost medieval fantasy planet. I mean, it's very like swords and that whole kind of medieval feeling to it. And Supergirl is just there drinking. She's trying to escape, and you realize it's because she now is she's kind of destinationless. I mean, for so long she's been compared to Superman. Anywhere she goes, you see the S, you're like, oh, it's Superman's cousin, and she's really trying to define who she is. I think that's kind of the All-Star Superman part of this, is going to be very character defining and saying what makes Supergirl different than just the cousin of Superman.
Okay.
So this is, I would say, a more mature Supergirl, but she definitely feels older. This isn't as much of the spunky high school or college Supergirl. This is definitely a more she's been on Earth for a while. I mean, she watched her planet get destroyed, but unlike Superman, who was just an infant, I mean, she was at an age where she could actually understand what just happened, and so she's carrying a lot of baggage. I think it's cool that Tom King is doing this. So yep, this is an 8-part series. I'm excited about it because I feel like Supergirl hasn't had something that just spotlights her in a long time.
Yeah, something that hopefully this will help define her.
Yeah.
Like you said, apart from Superman.
Her and Crypto.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Then we have the Gary Frank variant. And we see here this little girl. Basically, the big story, it says, is where this little girl's planet gets destroyed. And she basically goes to Supergirl and is like, you're going to help me track down the people who did it. Or if you don't, I'm just going to do it myself by any means necessary. Okay. And so Supergirl feels that I can't let this little girl go out on this revenge mission by herself. So she goes along with it. She
knows what it's like also.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of a reflection of that.
Okay.
And of course, there's a blank sketch variant, which feels like almost every book gets now, but
sort of sky gradient.
Yeah, you can draw your little Supergirl flying around on there.
Yeah. So from Marvel, there are some new Hero Reborn one-shots coming out. The first of which is Heroes Reborn Night-Gwen. That's right, Gwen. So who is Gwendolyn Stacy? She is the head psychiatrist at Ravencroft. It's funny how much Ravencroft has been coming up in the Marvel Universe ever since they sort of started using it. So what better place than in Heroes Reborn to bring up, yet another place that's reminiscent of something from DC. Mm-hmm. So Gwendolyn Stacy is the head psychiatrist at Ravencroft by day, but at night she turns into Nightbird. Now this is not explained in the solicitation. It is supposed to be a little bit of a mystery in a world where Nighthawk is a big deal. Yeah. He's basically their Batman leading the European section of the Squadron Supreme. Who is she, and what does she have to do with Nighthawk? So I've been having a lot of fun reading these. I'm interested in this one too, and it has this variant cover. So it looks like we will definitely find out what the link is.
Yeah, yeah. It almost feels like a
Robin character,
a Robin or a Nightwing.
Yeah,
maybe a former sidekick.
Yeah,
turned vigilante.
And it's funny, Gwen Stacy. She died pretty early on in the Marvel.
Yeah.
And now that she's back, all these years later, it's like all the different variations they keep coming up with her. Now there's like more Gwens out there.
So I'd say there's not really like
than Mary Jane's, really.
Yeah, there's no like normal Gwen who has no powers that's just kicking around. It's like, no, you're all superhero versions, and it's pretty cool.
So the next Heroes Reborn one-shot is called Heroes Reborn Squadron Savage. So what happens when there are deeds that need doing that are too dirty for the regular squadron? Because the squadron works for the government, and sometimes there has to be certain people taken out, and it can't be done by Hyperion. He's too goody-goody. He's the Superman. So instead, they send in the Squadron Savage, which consists of Elektra, Punisher, Crossbones, who else is on the team? Cloak, and a new character named Murder Hornet. I mean, I'm picking this up just for the character Murder Hornet, which I think you can see.
Yeah, going to be the breakout star.
They went and patented that name real quick.
And if this is like the other Heroes Reborn stuff, it's been fairly mature. Like, it's not like a bunch of blood and viscera, but I mean, people die in these books pretty regularly. And that's one fun thing. I think Jason Aaron's had a lot of fun writing this, being like, well, this isn't like the canon regular Marvel universe, so I can do what I want with these characters. There could be more consequences. And here is the BLATT variant.
It's like a movie poster.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
All right, next up is Web of Spider-Man. This is going to be a mini-series, a 5-part mini-series. And Web of Spider-Man in this, the Web stands for Worldwide Engineering Brigade. So with the help of Tony Stark, there is now a new research facility for teenage heroes. So that's what this is going to focus on. I think it's pretty cool. We get to see what's going on in their engineering labs. So it is also based on the ride at Disney. So if you're a Disney fan, this is going to be important to you if you're going to all the way to, for us, all the way to California. Florida is definitely our closest Disney World here, but it's going to be at the California theme park. So yeah, this is going to be the backstory for that ride. So kind of cool. And then this is the attraction variant. So we'll see. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be like, I get definitely the vibe of people leaving and coming from a theme park. But yeah, this is the attraction variant for the series.
It's cool. That's like a lot of art that Disney will do in like the concept staging phase of like, oh, what's the front of the building going to be like, all that. So I think that's really cool. Next is a super weird one, but it sounds a lot of fun. This is 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton. This is by Chris SCHWEIZER and Kyle Starks. You may be familiar with Kyle Starks from stuff like Rock Candy Mountain and stuff. He's got a very unique style. And in this, there has been a death or a murder of one of the most unlikable action stars. And so all of his former sidekick co-stars team up to try to solve the murder of this this kind of hated action movie star. I mean, it says like, kind of who cares? Like, a lot of people are like, that guy was a jerk anyways. But it's up to these people who kind of have a history with him to try to figure it out.
And I'm guessing that's his name. Trigger Keaton is the movie star, sort of.
No offense to Michael Keaton or.
It sounds like sort of like a John Wayne character.
Yeah.
Mixed with Clint Eastwood, maybe.
So we have a few variants. This is the, let's see, Henderson variant, I believe.
Yes.
And then we have the Pride Month variant, which is all kinds of hairy.
Oh boy.
But this also is cool because they tout it as Knives Out meets Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is, I think that's a pretty cool idea.
I think that cover kind of shows you what to expect from this book.
Yeah.
Whether you're the reader for it or
The
not.
level of humor.
Yeah.
Let's
for
move
sure.
on from that cover.
Okay, so a new book from Boom. It is called Good Luck. They're doing their normal thing where it's a 5-part series, meaning if enough people read it, it's probably going to be ongoing. Which it's a neat little trick they're doing,
Yeah.
I guess, to get people to go, oh, I don't want minis, because it might not be a mini series. So the premise of this is set in a different world than ours, where everyone is born with actual luck. Like, luck is a quantifiable thing you have. You know, like, I don't know if there's a scale or whatever, but it might be like, Megan, you have 10 luck, and Andy, you have 8 luck.
No.
I definitely don't have to.
On a scale of 100.
Okay.
But so what happens to people who are born without luck? It's a teenage group called the Unfortunates. They are born with no luck at all. You can tell by their name. That's a very unlucky name. They're the Unfortunates. Well, some worldwide disaster happens where, for some reason, only the Unfortunates can actually save the world. And so here it is, this world full of people who rely on luck, having to rely on these totally luckless people to try to save the day. I would say it's a pretty original concept.
Yeah.
So,
if I was one of them, I don't know. I'd have a padded suit and be watching out for any falling things
and
off
that's
of
just
buildings.
it doesn't clarify if by having no luck, if they're unlucky or it's just they're like a blank slate. So I'll be interested to read this one. Hopefully they'll send us a preview. But that's what we know of it so far. This is the regular cover. It has a B cover, but the B cover is the same cover in foil. So if you look it up online, it just looks the exact same. You're just going to have to know that it's a foil cover and is going to, be all shimmery and foily. The foil cover, I don't know if it is not listed if it's cost more or not. Sometimes they'll charge you $1 extra for the foil cover, but if you want it, you might want to ask your shop for that. Because often when it's the same cover and you can't see how cool it is, shops under order.
Yep.
So.
All right, next up is a cool new horror title from Aftershock. It appears to be ongoing. It is called Bunny Mask. So, kind of a very interesting title here, but Bunny Mask seems to be an ancient evil. So, one of our characters unearths this Bunny Mask character, this ancient evil, and things do not go well, as you can expect. I kind of, in reading the solicitations, got like, this is kind of like you're summoning Bloody Mary. So Bunny Mask would be like something you summon or discover, as our character does. So the creators of this said that it's like a mix between Vampirella stories and Junji Ito. So definitely some sensual horror stuff they talked about a lot. So it just has to do with forces of the unknown and things beyond our understanding. So yeah, looks pretty neat. There are actually some preview pages with they're out of order and there's no text. So they're really just trying to give you a taste of it. They don't want you to try to uncover the plot.
It's more of atmosphere than actual narrative.
Yeah, but this comes from Paul Tobin, who did the Eisner-nominated Colder series, and it's the artist Andrea Muti from Maniac of New York. Wow. So yeah, it's definitely got some good talent on here. So give it a shot. Kind of a supernatural ancient evil bunny mask. So I really like the variant cover for this. So yeah, this is the mask, and why not order 2 copies? Cut out a mask for yourself.
Yeah, you could have the bunny mask.
Yeah, you could be the ancient evil.
If I was going to be an ancient evil, I'd be Mumra.
Oh yeah,
and you get that yelling voice.
Oh yeah, that is a great one. So next up is one that is a name familiar to some, not so much others. This is Space Pirate Captain Harlock. And this was originally, the character was originally created by, and once again, butchered the name, Leiji Matsumoto back in 1977. So this character in this world has been around for a long time. This is one of the most classic science fiction manga, and with the anime adaptation, everything. It's kind of, there's a little bit of it in like our Western culture, but this is not one that's the level of it, like in Japan, has come over here. So people may have seen this character here and there. But Ablaze is bringing it to our U.S. market in kind of a more traditional comic book style. So it's interesting what they say about it. That of course the original was in black and white. This is full color, but it still maintains kind of the panelization of a manga. They said sometimes like 11 to 14 panels per page. So you get a lot of those small, almost like if you took two manga pages and put them like on top of each other. That's kind of how it's going to be done. It is, from what I can tell, it's not just colored the art from the original one. I believe it's new art, but it says it's definitely more of a it pays a lot of homage to the original, but kind of gives it a modern anime look to it. So they say it is accessible to new readers. You don't have to have been a fan back from 1977. You can jump in to this. It's gonna, you know, introduce you to the character and the world pretty well. And in this one, there's an alien race that threatens Earth called the Mazon, and as one of their like most deadly one awakens, Captain Harlock, who's this kind of honorable outlaw, is heading to Earth to visit one of his friend's daughters when kind of it all breaks loose. So I'm really excited about this. I actually just recently ordered the like hardcover manga of this because I saw this coming out and I was like, I've seen that character before, so I wanted to read the original one. So it's really cool. I really like it. It's got some great variant covers. So this is, I believe the first one was the Chew variant. And then we have the Kendrick variant.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a cool character design. The Leonix, Leinix variant. This one's cool. This is by Yannick Paquette, who, if you read Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing, he was the main artist on that Swamp Thing. And most recently, Wonder Woman Earth 1 with Grant Morrison.
I like the asteroids and space debris in the background.
Yeah. Then we have the Mercado variant. Then this is a wraparound by Andy Tong.
I get some like sort of Final Fantasy vibes
Yeah.
off of that, the background.
And then finally, this is kind of a very classic image of Captain Harlock from the manga and the anime. This is by Alq, I believe is how you say it.
Yeah, I have to say I don't know anything about Captain Harlock. I'll have to at least like read this issue #1.
Yeah,
see what this
and I
character's
believe that
about.
he's also coming up this free comic book day later this year has a free comic book. That's going to be a Blaze's free comic, so they're going all in.
All right, so this is one of the most delayed comics we've ever had on Comics from the Future. This FOC has been pushed back and back and back and back. This is Ant #12 by Eric Larson. The issue #11 was 14 years ago. I kid you not. So this is a series that got cut off before the end at issue 11, 14 years ago, and he is ending it just now. Now, why would he do this? Because there's going to be volume 2 starting up with an issue 1 after this.
Mm-hmm.
So they promise that this issue, while it ends, it gives it capstones the series. It will also be a good introduction to the character before the next issue #1 drops. I think that's issue #1. They're saying what, July or August?
I think it's August. Yeah, which is going to be kind of a new origin story and stuff too.
Image, they just do whatever they want over there.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, Solid Blood, sure, do it. And you want to release that 14 years late, why not? And, you know, certainly they owe Eric Larson for all his years of service. I picture he's just chained his desk since 1992. Releasing some great art, though. So this does have actually, there is a variant cover. I don't have it.
Yeah.
So look for the variant cover if you care enough about that.
All right, Jason was giving you a sneak peek of DC's Represent. This is a one-shot, 80-page issue featuring 7 stories that were digital first. So they're collecting it all together here. It's $10. So they're 7 different stories by 7 different creative teams, different writers and artists in here. So they're all Black creators, and you can tell by the title, as we've been seeing lately, they're, especially with DC and the other history of the DC universe, trying to feature stories that aren't always told or aren't always at the forefront. So that's what this is. And I can tell by previewing what some of the stories were. Some of these are very rooted in reality, or they're not just all fantasy stories. You can see a lot of parallels of stuff that has happened IRL. So that's what this is, and it's just the one cover. Yeah. So.
All right.
Next this is real fun. This is Cain and Abel. This is actually a trade paperback that is by Crent Abel and Shaky Cain. Shaky Cain, as we know, worked with our friend Richard Starkings on The Beef. So very unique art style, as you may know or not know. But we actually will have, I believe, some preview pages of this.
Yep.
This says it's collecting never before seen comic strips with characters such as the astonishing Shield Bug, a story like Who Fears the Death Roach, Dust Mites, and Creep Zone. So it sounds like they're just having fun doing a bunch of these little short stories with some crazy characters, with the very fun, sometimes a little dark, always kind of crazy.
Yeah, that cover is
art.
sinister
Yeah.
and crazy, and yeah, that's wild. All right, I guess we'll show some preview pages.
Yeah. So I'm not sure which of the stories this is from, but I love the tone of it, the coloring, everything's really cool.
That could be a character right out of Geiger.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's Creep Zone.
Creep Zone, featuring Nightmare and Sleep. So
Sleepy.
Or Sleepy, yeah. I don't know if Sleepy would be a very useful character. Maybe it's the dwarf.
I was about to say,
up.
I loved him in Snow White,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, look at that. Shaky Cane's art is just so awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the preview pages that they have released.
Yep.
Just to give you guys an example of
But
what you can find.
Yeah, this is a trade paperback. This isn't coming out single issues.
Yep. Okay, so from Dark Horse, there is a 4-issue miniseries called The Secret Land. There's not a ton on this. Like, I read up on it, and it is set right towards the end of World War II. Hitler is dead, and the gentleman there, that's him and his wife, he's away in the Pacific Front, and he's still fighting, because after Hitler died, the war went on for a little while. He's still fighting, and he is under the belief, for some reason, we don't know why, that his wife was killed during the war. And so he's still really angry. He kind of doesn't want the war to end because he's really mad about this. Meanwhile, it turns out his wife is not dead. In fact, she's undercover. And this is probably some of why he thinks she's dead. I think she might be so undercover they had to tell him this. And she is headed into the last bastion of the Third Reich. So it seems like, the final sort of Nazis who are still around, she has something to do with the people that are going to go after them, but she has to keep it secret. And somehow they're sort of on a collision course with each other. So it sounds interesting. It was just like there's a couple details to it. I was like, well, how? And if he's in the Pacific and how's that going to work? But that's what I know about it. I think, people can judge if they want to check it out based on the cover and the art and just sort of that setting.
Is there skeletons frozen in ice?
It does appear to be that way.
Once again, there's a little twist to it.
The last bastion of the Third Reich, and we know that the Third Reich's always into weird supernatural Hellboy type stuff. And look, this is coming from Dark Horse.
Yeah, perfect.
So that is what I have to say on The Secret Land.
All right. Another new Dynamite installment. This is Dynamite Lives. And it's just the crazy balls to the wall, all Dynamite characters together against zombies. In the last series, they lost their chosen one. And now, who do you see on the cover there? Yes, Ash Williams.
Groovy.
And you know what happens when you try to make Ash do anything? He reluctantly does an amazing job, is what happens. So I am looking forward to this. I think the installment of Ash being a part of this is going to be really cool and hopefully extra funny and fun amidst all the gore and the scantily clad people. So
did Ash himself have something to do with whoever did the cover? Because he has never been that muscly. Ash is just like, more muscles, come on.
Of course he did. All right, and then that was the PAREL cover, and then this is the Sudium cover.
I'm calling that the boomstick cover.
Yeah. Say hello to his boomstick.
Lots more covers available if you want to go check them out, but these are the two we decided to feature today.
Next up is, this is really fun. This is Red Sonja 1982. And this is by one of fan favorite writer of Red Sonja, Amy Chu, who has done some amazing stuff. And this takes place, it's just a one-shot. It takes place in 1982 when Red Sonja goes to Hollywood. She teams up with a bouncer, a drag queen, and a disco roller skating martial artist to fight a time-traveling android. All of that in one issue. I feel like that could be 6 issues. But it's really fun. They just did something very similar with Vampirella.
Right, it was Vampirella in 1992.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's time traveling. It's just a one and done. Let's see how crazy we can make this. And Amy Chu is a great writer, so I think it's going to be really cool.
All right, so get ready to order this. Something is Killing the Children, number 17. It is more on Erica Slaughter's origin. What turned her into the monster hunter she later becomes? Will she be sorted into the dreaded Black Room? Will she be sorted into the seemingly much better White Room? Who
Sorted into
knows?
Slytherin.
No, not Slytherin. Not Slytherin. So this also has a B cover, which this is one don't want you sleeping on. This is a glow-in-the-dark cover.
Whoa.
So,
wow, that's the first time I think they've done that.
Yes. I mean, they know everyone is picking this up. I feel like sometimes they'll put extras on things just to get people to buy more, but with this one, it's almost like a reward. I think so many people were already going to get this B cover, even if it weren't glow-in-the-dark, that it's like, here, glow-in-the-dark. We'll make it even cooler.
I wonder what's
really
glow-in-the-dark on it. Be interesting to see.
Maybe the tea?
They make the shadow, maybe.
That could be cool, yeah.
But, yeah.
Very cool. Okay, this series looks super cute and fun. It's called the Perhapanauts. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's a creepy, fun adventure series about monster hunters who are themselves mythical creatures. So we have a psychic, a ghost, a Sasquatch, lots of colorful characters. This is actually volume 2. I don't know if you guys have heard, I don't know if many people have heard about this. I know they kickstarted some of their series and all that, but this is I believe it's a miniseries. But yeah, it looks to be fun, and this is from Scout with their Black Caravan, which is a more horror-focused imprint, which that seems to be a lot of what Scout does anyway. It's just horror stuff already, is everything the Black Caravan imprint. But this, I can't confirm it, but it does look like more of an all-ages type book. Watch me crack it open, and it's full of ghosts cursing and all that. But anyway, looks really cute and fun, and just a lighthearted break from a lot of your doom and gloom comics.
Ghost cursing. I think they use boo as their Smurf word. What the boo?
So this is, we're going to be talking about some variant covers and some cool things just to make note of. So this is Superman number 32, the In-Hyuk Lee variant, which I love all these covers he's been doing. They're all like father and son variants. But this also wraps up the One Who Fell story, which is kind of the first big part in this potential death of Superman story. We'll see.
All right, this is the B cover, or wait.
No, this is also mine.
Yep.
This is the David Talaski Pride Month variant.
Just chilling on the Daily Planet.
Yeah, he must be big, because the Daily Planet.
I know.
Planet is huge. That's ginormous, Superman.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the Jamal Campbell variant for Challenge of the Super Sons number 3. In this issue, the Super Sons are going to be traveling through time with Vandal Savage. We know from past issues they're trying to stop the Doom Scroll from killing different members of the Justice League. I think this time it might be Hawkgirl. So just want to make everyone
She's
aware.
died plenty of times.
Yeah.
All right, this is Batman the Detective number 3. We're midway through the series, and we have Batman back there. You can see the Eiffel Tower in this Andy Kubert B cover.
Is that the first time that Sidekick has been on a cover?
I am not sure, to tell you the truth. To my knowledge, I think. I don't think I've seen her on any covers before Squire,
No,
new Squire.
I didn't think so either.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
His new 14-year-old sidekick.
Oh, he's going to ruin her life.
Yep.
Next up is Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries. This is number 3. And with this one, Batman teams up with Scooby-Doo and Shaggy teams up with Ace the Bat Hound. So really fun, all ages, just one of the most memorable crossovers from the original show, Batman and Scooby-Doo. So
Yeah, I see the Batman dog on there too.
yeah, Ace.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, this is the Bermejo variant for Detective Comics 1037. So this issue, both Batman and separately Bruce Wayne have been framed for the same murder.
Oh no.
I kid you not. They're both suspects. They're both being sought by the police. But worse than that, there is a character named Mr. Worth. That's why I was tripping up there. Worth, who they introduced last issue. They've retconned into saying that his family helped build half of Gotham. He's super rich. He's huge.
Yeah.
And it happens to be his daughter who was murdered. So he's using all of his power, all of his money, all of his influence, and all of his muscles to try to take down Bruce Wayne and Batman. So yeah, double trouble for Batman this issue, with a great cover by Bermejo.
All right, next up we have Future State Gotham number 2. This is the Derrick Chew B cover, and once again, Batman has been framed, or next Batman has been framed for the death of lots of people, and Red Hood is after him, but maybe coming into some trouble against the rest of the Bat family. This is definitely a lot less pink cover for Derrick Chew. I feel like every time I see Chew's work, it's like super pink, so it's cool to see different colors going on.
Is that Peacekeeper Red in the top?
There's a Peacekeeper 03
Okay.
is sort of the villain who has been talking with and leading Red Hood. But okay, I know what you mean. So right, Red Hood got the moniker Peacekeeper Red last issue. He is officially a peacekeeper, so I think you're right.
Yeah, a lot of people really were taken aback when they saw the first issue because it being black and white, but then I had a lot of people come back the next day and be like, I really like that. It was almost like a DC manga.
Yeah.
And with the action and everything, it gave them that feel. So I think this is going to be a very interesting template for series going forward. And super creepy. I mean, what are you going to do with that? This is Joker number 4. This is the Prio variant where he's picking off the arm of a Batman action figure. And in this one, after the craziness of the last issue, Gordon and Joker are kind of teamed up, at least for a firefight that they're both in. But it says it's going to explain more about the revelations that came out of what Joker said about A-Day. So I'm excited we're gonna get into all of that because it seems real crazy.
So this is the Prio variant?
Yes, this is the Prio.
I get the sense he's channeling a little bit Jack Nicholson Joker.
Yeah.
The mouth. Yeah,
he didn't do like the elongated chin as much.
Yeah.
It's more human looking. And then we have the this name also Hijikuri variant, which I think it's cool. They've been doing like one variant that's Joker and one that's Punchline because of course Punchline has the backup story in it.
Okay, this is Justice League Last Ride number 2, the Inhyuk Lee variant. So what happened in number 1 is the Justice League, they have to protect Lobo, one of the least. I mean, that's one of the worst people you have to protect. The Green Lantern Corps want Lobo to go to trial before they punish him, but all the people Lobo has pissed off in the past are all coming after him to try to do vigilante justice, and it's up to the Justice League to stop them. Also, more is going to be revealed on why the Justice League ever broke up. Who died? Who made that happen? So that is what's happening.
All right, next up, a really cool cover for Superman Red and Blue, number 4 of the 6-issue miniseries. This is the Walter Simonson variant.
Yeah, I like that.
Fully taking use of the space here, breaking up the logo. This has been a surprisingly popular series around here, so yeah, if you prefer the B cover, if you like this, let us know.
Next up is Wonder Woman 773. This is the Middleton variant, which, I mean, Middleton's been knocking these variants out of the park. They're so good, so almost cinematic. And this issue is, if you read the previous one, kind of, I don't know if it's wrapping up the story with the Norse mythology and everything, but Wonder Woman is going to confront the Valkyries in their fortress. So we have the Middleton variant, and then we have the Paulina Ganuche Pride Month variant.
That is Steven Universe colorful.
Yes.
Okay, so this is Children of the Atom number 4, the Chang variant. So this is pretty cool. I've been reading the Hellfire Gala beginning stuff, and I'm interested in Hellfire Gala. I think a lot of neat stuff's going to happen at it and come from it. I didn't know the Children of the Atom were going to it. Now, they're not invited, but they're like, hey, we've been trying to get to Krakoa. They're having this big party. Let's bust in. You know, they've been invited to Krakoa. They just can't get there. So they are going to try to get to the Hellfire Gala, but who or what is going to get in their way? That's what the solicitation asks.
All right, next up we have Amazing Spider-Man 68. This is the U Spider-Man Villains variant. It looks like we have Taskmaster and Black Beetle on the cover there. I love, and this is not Scotty Young, a return to a lot of the word bubbles and just joking and funny banter on the covers here. So really cool variant for that one.
Next up, we have Excalibur 21, still part of the Hellfire Gala, and this is the connecting Dodderman variant. That's kind of the not the red carpet, kind of the green carpet. But you see the new Captain Britain there in her gala attire.
Yep.
And then we have the character design variant by Marcus Toe, where you see a lot more of the cool designs.
Yep. And as you can see, it's a wraparound
Yes.
variant like the others have been previous weeks. This is the Dodderman connecting variant that goes with the one Andy showed earlier and the ones previous weeks for X-Men number 21. X-Men number 21 is going to have the first ever elected X-Men team. So one reason the gala is happening is they've decided, you know, since they're doing all their politicking and it's going well in the world, that they're actually going to elect an X-Men team. And it's going to be revealed who's on that team in this issue. So I think it's going to be a pretty big deal, pretty big issue. And thus, of course, several covers. Here is the Jimenez Pride variant with Mystique on it. And here is the Lupacino Spider-Man Villains variant. And then lastly, here is the Vernac wraparound variant, design variant, where you get to see how some of them are dressed.
All right, it is the penultimate issue of Heroes Reborn, Marvel's weekly event. These trading card variants have been really popular, so this is for Heroes Reborn number 6. This is the Bagley Connecting trading card variant. Then we have the Christopher action figure variant. And then lastly, the Silva Stormbreakers variant, which is just kind of a virgin cover. It actually does look like this. You can't read the title on it even. But yeah, that's for Heroes Reborn number 6.
I love how big She-Hulk is on that.
Yeah.
That is like the biggest version of She-Hulk we've seen.
That She-Hulk could hang out with Superman, Red, White, and Blue
On top
of the Daily Planet.
Top of the Daily Planet.
Yep.
Next up, we have Spider-Man Spider Shadow number 3 of 5. So, of course, it's doing that what if story, that what if Peter Parker kept the symbiote suit and became Venom. We had some big revelations in the last one about the Sinister Six and what new members they have on their team, which is a lot of fun. But this has been a really popular series. I think people really love the what if stories because you really don't know. Anyone could live or die or whatever in these. So, yep, number 3 of 5.
All right, so this is Star Wars Bounty Hunter number 13. It connects in with War of the Bounty Hunter. No more prelude to it. It's going on. And the cover kind of reveals a little bit of what this is about because, you know, hot on the trail of Boba Fett, Valance, and Denegar run into none other than Chewbacca. So
they run into him pretty hard, too.
Yeah. And then it's got a couple of variants. Here is the Kamanji, I'm saying the name wrong, but Kamagni. This is the Kamagni Pride variant. And then we have the Sprouse Lucasfilm 50th anniversary variant.
Yep, starting on we've finished Empire Strikes Back, and we are moving on to the Lucasfilm variants, which I'm really interested to see. Calling it Lucasfilm and not just Star Wars, I am ready for the Indiana Jones cover, the Willow cover.
The Willow,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, so many great ones you could do.
All right, next up we have Beta Ray Bill number 2, second printing. We know the number 1 went back to a second printing. This is the number 2 second printing, and it's obviously a page from the issue itself. They did these same things with Thor and I think even Venom last year, where they reprinted the covers as pages from the inside. So we'll see how this fares for its popularity. So once again, issue number 2, second print.
Then this is Black Widow, the second printing, right, of issue 6. Man, my eyes are getting blurry. But once again, it looks like they're taking some panels from the book and using it as the cover.
Yeah.
So really cool.
Yeah, this one sold out because there was, of course, a new character with
yeah.
powers who they're saying might become a new Black Widow character. They've already, White Widow's already been training her, much to Black Widow's chagrin. She wants to keep her sort of innocent, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So that's why this went to second print. People were hunting high and low for that first print. All right, this is Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunter Alpha, the prelude to the series, number 1, second print. I'm sure you've seen this cover before. It's been recolored. So I know a lot of people are getting just all the printings of this, so we just don't want you to miss out on this.
All right, this is the Marvels number 1 second printing. So this went so quickly. It's really cool to see. It had Alex Ross cover on the first one. So this is the Cinar variant for the second printing. It's got new characters along with the old. Just playing around with a lot of the Marvel characters. So I would definitely pick this up because a lot of people missed it.
Next we have Venom 34 second print. This is the Coelho variant. And of course this is the penultimate issue, at least as far as we know, of Venom before the big 200 issue.
And this is probably the last thing that's going to have the King in Black logo in the corner. You know, when I saw that this week, I was like, oh, I haven't seen that lately. That's interesting. All right. Tell your store that you want Geiger number 3. Number 1, number 2, awesome books. Number 3, ask the question, what made Geiger? What can make a monster like that? So you're going to get Geiger's origin of what made him the radioactive creature he is. At the same time, while that's being told, the King of Vegas is going to be storming Geiger's home. So sounds like a very eventful issue.
Maybe we'll actually see a little bit more of Geiger's power, or how he can really defend himself.
Yep, hopefully. And then here is the B variant by Jeff Lemire. Here is the C variant by Weeks. And here is the D variant, the Gary Frank variant.
The character design is so good that whatever version of it's like, oh, that's a cool cover.
I know, they all look like a cover.
Yeah.
They all look like that could be the one that's just on the shelf.
All right, so this is Eve number 2. This is the new series from Boom, so it's a post-apocalyptic tale. Boom is really good at creating... Oh, I don't want to say Boom is good at creating worlds, but the talent that they scout for their series are really good at just creating environments that you don't really see very often, and they're very captivating. I'm thinking of like Wind and those series. So it's a 5-part series. If you like number 1, sign up for it. This is your chance. This is number 2, the A cover, and then the B cover. Wow. Our main character looking much older than
just all that stuff spilling off of her.
And then number 1 actually went back to a second printing. So this is the number 1 second print.
I really like this first issue. I thought it was super interesting. It really sets the stage for a big world building, interesting story. Next is Proctor Valley Road number 4. This is the Wild Goose variant, which these have been really popular variants. I'm not even sure. They almost look like they connect with the wave and the colors and everything. I don't think they do, but they really nice, super cool series from Grant Morrison.
God of War, Fallen God number 4 is the final issue of the series. This is one a lot of people are sleeping on, and I know now the number one's going for a little bit more than I think most of us want to pay for it online. So if you want to see what the ultimate fate, I guess not ultimate, but the current fate of Kratos is.
Yeah, as he goes through Egyptian mythology in this one. And this is just such a cool cover.
Yep.
All right, next up is Good Asian number 2. Number 1 just dropped recently from Image. It's the Chinatown Noir series. So this is my favorite cover, the Wu variant for issue number 2. And it does have another A cover, and it's a 9-part series, in case you didn't know. I don't know if I knew that last time.
Next is Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal number 2. This is the A Clark variant. And this kind of continues her crazy exploits through time, stealing anything that's shiny that she wants from any point in time, all the while she's kind of being hunted through all these things by someone who's very frustrated with her and has to clean up her messes that she leaves along the way through time, and going from the beginning of time to the end of time. Issue 1 was a lot of fun. So I'm definitely interested to see where this one goes.
I look at this cover and I wonder, is this more an homage to the Seventh Seal, or is it more an homage to Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey? And I think it might be Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Wind number 7, the Gonzalez cover.
They're almost doing like these trading card stained glass.
I think they're like
tarot. Yeah,
okay,
that's what I get here. Can Wind brave going into the forest to save his friend? That is what the solicitation is about. I don't think it ends right there.
Nope,
a tree just falls on him.
This is the Boys number 1. It's being re-released from Dynamite. So this is a special edition Dynamite version. Apparently Dynamite did not start publishing Boys until issue 7, and they were kind of jelly about it. So they were like, we're going to go back and publish number 1. That's exactly what this is.
It started under Wildstorm, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The Boys started under Wildstorm, and then it went over to Dynamite. So, and this is just cover price too.
Yep, just $4.99. So yeah, that's what this is. Dynamite is finally publishing.
Next up is a big one. This is Archie's 80th anniversary. He's still looking really good for being like maybe 96.
This is red hair jeans.
Yeah, apparently.
Drop the face skincare routine.
So this is an oversized one-shot that has kind of Archie. It's got original stories, but kind of through all of his different incarnations, the more modern-ish stories, the more classic stories. Great for old and new fans alike, and this one has a lot of really cool variant covers. So this is, of course, the main cover, the Dan Parrott variant. Then we have the Ben Caldwell variant. Then we have the Gonzalez again, we just saw on Wind. And then we have the Aaron Lopresti variant.
Okay, so we like to inform on the show. So this is White number 1. This has been solicited before. If you've ordered it through us, you're still going to get it. You don't have to tell us again. We have it all noted down. It's in our systems. But people thought this was going to release last week. It was originally supposed to release last week. It's been pushed back. We don't know exactly why. So some of what we do on the show is inform people. This is back to where it's orderable. Like you can go to the store and order a copy, order 5 copies, whatever you want. This is the follow-up series to Black, which has been optioned. I don't know if they're making a show or a movie of it. But it's one of those options where it's like gonna happen.
Yeah.
So this is now going to be released June 9th. So.
Well, originally they said they were only printing like 2,500 copies or some ridiculously small number.
They took the restrictions away.
I wonder if that's the case. I would definitely still not wait to find this on the shelf.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if that seems to be what they've done. That would make sense. But originally it was limited, very limited.
Right, I remember that.
All right, Something is Killing the Children Volume 3 is finally being released. If you are like me and you started reading the series way too late, you've probably binged Volume 1 and 2, and you've been waiting for this to come out. So this collects issues 11 through 15. So yeah, definitely pre-order it, because I'm telling you, it was hard to get the Volume 1 for a little while.
Yeah.
So definitely do not wait to find this on the shelf. Find it in your box. Who got this?
Oh, I guess it's me. This is Deceased Unkillables. This is it came out in hardback already, but this is the first time it's coming back in paperback. This it runs like parallel with the original Deceased, but follows the villain story and how they survive this zombie outbreak in the DC universe.
And it's just as good, too. I mean,
yeah.
I'll just tell you, if you're looking for a good story, read the Deceased stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. All right, so Canto 2, The Hollow Men trade paperback is available for order. This is all 5 issues of The Hollow Men. It's $19.99, and it collects issues 1 through 5 of Hollow Men, but also there was a one-shot called Clockwork Fairies that it also collects.
Okay, this looks super cool. This is called Delicacy. It's an original graphic novel and written and created by the same creator, written and drawn by the same creator. So it is about the high-pressure, fast-paced world of big city restaurants. It's about a couple who finds a special mushroom. It's not a drug. I don't know. I don't think it's a drug mushroom.
With special in quotes.
No, they find a special ingredient. It is a mushroom that sends everyone coming to their restaurant in droves. And even though it's a super competitive world, they're finding a lot of people coming to their restaurant. So they're trying to figure out, what is this thing? I bet you they're drugging everybody. So anyway, this the art looks really cool. I'm a sucker for things like this. We all have to eat, so why not read a comic about it? It is $24.99. Looks cool.
Right. Next up is Marvelverse. These are a little bit smaller trades I've been doing that collect some very key issues and high points of different characters. And this one is the She-Hulk. It's only $9.99. It collects Savage She-Hulk #1, Sensational She-Hulk #4, She-Hulk from the 2005 series #3, Avenging Spider-Man #7, and material from Solo Avengers #14. This is 120 pages for only $9.99.
Wow. Okay, so they're doing the collection of the entire series, The Union, which it has the King in Black logo, but I mean this series had not a lot to do with King in Black. It's more a new group that formed over in London. I really enjoyed this series. I mean, honestly, it's a great read. Get it for no other reason than Snakes. Snakes is my favorite character in the Union. He's literally made of snakes. It's an awesome reveal.
Yeah.
So this is the whole series. A lot of people, I think, missed this. When King in Black was going on, there were just so many books to buy that I think some people skipped out on this one.
Especially a book about characters that, readers probably didn't recognize right away or anything. You had so many Venoms and so many Gwenums to get that a lot of people did miss out on the Union, and it was great.
It was great, and there are new characters in this too that I hope continue on in the Marvel universe. So this is just $15.99, and that's the full series.
All right, next up we have Young Avengers, the Gillen and McKelvey Omnibus. This is a hardcover, only $75. So these characters, and this just introduced a whole new swath of readers to Marvel, so it's really cool. So this collects Young Avengers from 2013, 1 through 15, and it's got material from the Marvel Now #1. So it's 360 pages. You got a couple covers to choose from. So this is the main cover, and then this is the new printing. I guess they're doing it in honor of the new printing of it because it has been out of stock for a long time. So this is, like I said, $75.
And there's America Chavez.
Yep.
Sort of front and center there. All right, and that is our show for this week.
Woo!
Yep. Like I said at the beginning, sort of a lighter week, but that just lets you explore other things than you normally would. And not every week can be, there's 20 King in Black books, or there's, 15 Future State #1 books.
Yep.
So.
But yeah, please let us know what you are most excited about reading in the comments. We love to hear from you guys. We always respond and interact with them, so let us know. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. We're inching closer to 1,000. We'll see what special things we can do for that. And yeah, we will see you guys.
I may go back to wearing a hat again.
Oh, yeah. Remember when Andy wore a hat?
Big costume change in issue 1000.
All right, guys. Well, have a great weekend, and we will see you next time.